Greg, welcome to the kickoff of our new season, the pre-show to the show, to the
Pre-show
welcome
to
to the music. Yeah,
the pre-show to the
the pre-show to
pre-shows,
the pre-show to the
pre-shows of
pre-shows.
the show.
Yeah, there you go. That's what 5 second rehearsal does. Welcome back, Greg.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
What are you wearing? What's that hoodie? Is it a band?
No,
A
I'm wearing a band shirt.
band shirt. What? Come on, take it. Oh, color, city, and color.
Color,
I saw
color.
color, something it color me bad.
No, and then this is actually that bottle over there, a Montelobos.
All right. Look at you.
Mezcal,
All right. Our podcast brought to you by Booze.
Montelobos.
Montelobos. There you go. But when would somebody drink that drink, Greg? Is there an occasion?
No, I mean it's a very nice sipping liquid. It's
Okay.
also makes good mezcal Negroni.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
That's one of my faves.
yeah, no doubt. I had Negroni last night at Budweiser stage.
Who did you see last night?
We saw Stone Temple Pilots and
Uh-huh.
Live
Uh-huh.
and Collective Soul. Not Collective Soul. Soul Asylum. I always do that.
Soulless. Yeah, those two bands, they sound very similar. And do they have Stone Temple Pilots has a new singer? Soul Asylum? I can't remember.
In terms of what?
Like lead singer.
No, I think it's
Right?
the same lead singer.
Same? Okay. I might
Yeah,
be thinking of
it's
another
Live
band.
that's just the singer now.
Okay.
So you had Stone Temple Pilots, which is the band with a new singer,
Yeah,
and then Live, which is the singer with a new band.
with a new band. How was Stone Temple Pilots?
They were great. They
Yeah?
were great. I have to say, I lament. I'm disappointed that I never got to see them with Scott. I had tickets on many occasions,
Wow.
and for one reason or another,
Yeah.
I didn't end up making it. So it was bittersweet. Great show.
Yeah.
Um, very much like when I saw the Tubes without Fee Waybill. It was like still the Tubes, the band and everybody, and the great
Hmm.
songs. Um, but it wasn't Fee Waybill. So,
Yeah.
but it's
Does
good that they get to carry on like that. I mean, again, I
sure.
said that to my wife Kelly this morning. I'm like, yeah, it's like, not that it could be a cover band,
Hmm.
but Scott is such a presence. That said,
That's right.
that does a disservice to say that to the rest of the band, the DeLeo brothers, not because it's like, or DeLeo, I think I found out last night. I always thought it was DeLeo. Because again, as musicians and songwriters, they're absolutely fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
yeah, so it was great. It was great.
Nice. Nice. Well, I'm glad you went.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Who
I
else
was
have you
day
seen?
three of their show three of 5 nights, I think, in 5 nights.
That was the third show in 5 nights?
Yeah, I think so.
Who
Yeah,
else
we
have you seen
we
recently?
did the West End Phoenix benefit or
Oh, how was that?
fundraiser. That was amazing.
That
That
must
was
have been
just so
fun.
much fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely so much fun.
Yeah.
I chatted with Dave afterwards and just said like, oh my God, it was amazing. And Kelly said the same thing. And like we were like,
Good.
we got to go to more of those. You have to
Yeah.
go to more of them. It was just a really fun time with musicians getting up and singing covers and again it was a lot of the songs were Bowie, so you already had
Yeah.
me at that, right?
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, and then earlier in the week was Bikini Kill, so Riot Girls at down at History, and so it was like
Hmm.
old school Riot Girl punk.
Okay.
Um, which is a lot. That was a lot of fun. It was a fun show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for
And
you.
you saw who over the weekend?
Storry.
You saw Story.
Yeah. And the great thing about that show for me was how much Minaz loved it.
Oh,
Yeah. It was funny. So we get there and I think they said show starts at 7:30 and we knew there was an opener who was actually good. Her stage name was Divine Lightbody. She goes by. Um and she was good. But when we got there, we were one of the first people there, and we got there like right at the time, so we thought it was going to be busier, but it wasn't. So they started maybe a half hour after they said they were going to, which is fine. But there were no chair, it was just a hall.
where was it at again?
It was at the Drake Underground, so it's a small
Okay.
place.
Yeah.
A few hundred people would fit in there. But for some reason or another, in Minaz's head, she was coming to see a comedy show.
Oh,
And so she goes, there's no chairs. We have to stand. And I'm thinking, yeah, we have to stand. And so who are we seeing today? Which comedian? And I go, that's not a comedy show. We're here to see Storry. Who's Storry? So I had to show her Instagram. So she goes, okay. So I'm like, oh, she's not. She's off. She's off. She's not going to enjoy.
yeah.
But as soon as she loved it.
That's
She
great.
just loved it. And it was fantastic. And at the show, Storry announces that, and she had teased it earlier on Instagram, that she was on a reality show.
Yeah.
And it's The Voice UK.
Yes.
So I watched The Voice UK, I think on Saturday evening.
I watched her bit. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched her bit on YouTube.
And it was just like, I don't know her well, but I know her,
Yeah.
right? Know her enough that if I saw her on the street, I'd cross the street and I'd say hello to her and she'd know me. But it was just so amazing to see somebody not just be on stage in that capacity, but to do well right there in the
Yeah.
moment, to have all of the judges want to have her on the team. And I don't know how I feel about these reality singing shows or whatever, but it was just so nice.
Yeah.
To see her get to that stage. And I don't know, I have a feeling she'll do really well on that show.
Yeah.
So
They all
yes.
seem very excited
Yeah.
and interested in having her on their team.
Yeah.
I thought her comment to Tom Jones was hilarious.
I opened for you, by the way.
Yeah. I actually went back and she has it on Instagram. She has that whole day
Hmm.
and evening as
Yeah.
one of her stories or whatever you call it on Instagram. So I thought that was funny. And yeah, she certainly seemed to do well. And as my wife Kelly said, well, if you're gonna pick a team, I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't seen it yet. She's like, that's the team you're gonna pick.
He's picked a good,
Yeah, a good coach.
Yes, a good
Yeah.
coach
Yeah.
to be on. And I just
No disrespect to the other three, just that,
no, of
or
course.
the other four, I guess, because there's two guys, one team. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I guess I just gave that away part. But anyway, whatever.
That's fine. Yeah.
Still worth
Yeah,
a
so that was
watch. You can
good.
go on YouTube and watch it on YouTube. But
Go on
yeah,
YouTube, check it
former
out.
welcome music guest, and yeah, it's
Yeah,
great to see her doing
absolutely. Great
multiple
to
times.
see her do well. And I went to a few, I was taking a look because we said let's talk about some shows we've been to. And I'd only been to two other shows this summer. So we went to see Shaggy. Shaggy.
Wasn't me.
No,
Isn't that Shaggy?
Was it? Yeah.
Okay. For a minute there, I thought I got my. All right, go ahead, carry on.
That was a fun show.
Yeah.
To go to. That was, I mean, we have to go to see Shaggy. I said, okay, we'll go see Shaggy. Interesting venue, By the way, York University at the Rexall Center, I think they call it, or Rexall Stadium. Is it
Sobe
Rexall?
Stadium. Sobe
Sobe.
Stadium.
Thank you. Sobe Stadium.
I only say that because I know because I'm going Thursday. So
Who are you seeing on Thursday?
Milky Chance and K-Flay.
Okay.
Can't wait.
All right. It's interesting. It's interesting. I guess with the weather now, yeah, just dress to be cool. Like it might be cool there.
Like to look
Um,
cool.
but I saw the Trews this summer. They're a great band. They're like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
fun act. We saw them at Casa Loma
Nice.
at their sunset, and I saw a really cool band. We're gonna have them on. They're a duo, Yassine and Sean Terrio. Um, just fantastic. So the singer, the main singer, his name is Sean. He was singing, and this will go into it'll dovetail into something else, but he's got you have a sense he'll have a larger than life personality. When you see him, you go, that guy's probably like a life of the party. But he sang with his arms behind him. And who else sings with their arms behind them? They've been in the news recently.
Oh, Oasis. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right, Liam
Yeah, yeah,
Gallagher
yeah,
with his
yeah.
hands.
Sorry. I was trying, I knew I could picture in my head and I just couldn't come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when he was doing that, I go, that's very interesting. And I was thinking when I saw them, I said, why is he doing that? And it didn't dawn on me until much, much later. Oh my God, that's how Liam Gallagher sings with his hands with his hands behind him. Um, I saw this summer the re-release in IMAX of the Oasis documentary, which was really, really good. And then a few weeks later, they announced they're back together, which I'm sure they've been planning for months.
Mhm.
But my brother got tickets.
Oh,
Yeah, so he's off to Wembley Stadium next summer.
they won't make it that long.
Him and his
They'll be broken up by the time Wembley comes.
him and his son
They want
are planning to go.
again. Oh, let me here. I'm on Perplexity right now. New thread.
Okay.
What are the odds? The odds in Vegas
Uh-huh.
that Oasis
Yeah.
make it together to Wembley.
You don't think so, eh?
And Perplexity just died on me.
Uh-oh. Maybe that's because of the odds. I don't know.
What are the odds? Here we are.
Uh-huh.
4-1 odds, 20% probability
That they don't make it.
that they don't make it
That's huge.
through their tour. Yeah. And it's going to get bigger. So here's the odds. Okay. I'm going to refresh my screen here. Okay. Based on the odds coming out, the UK odds are 4-1, 20% probability that Oasis will split up again before the completion of this tour. That means bookmakers believe 20% chance that they won't make it through their scheduled shows, including the Wembley date. So that's because I asked Perplexity about Wembley. Some other relevant betting odds right now are 5 to 6, so 54.5% that Oasis will open the tour with Rock and Roll Star. Yeah, whatever.
Right.
Something about the Super Bowl show, which we know it's not going to be the case.
It's
Although
not
they
them.
could still surprise.
You think Kendrick
I
Lamar will bring on Oasis?
have no idea.
That's interesting. By the way, Kendrick Lamar on the Super Bowl a few years ago, The
Yep.
Weeknd on the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Two artists that have beefs with.
Yep. Yep. So that's where the odds are right now. I asked Perplexity that about a week ago,
Uh-huh.
and it said it didn't have any data at that point. So obviously, we're gonna see where the money goes, right? Like, depending, again, they're all about covering their
Mhm.
butts. Let's see where also the money pushes that probability.
Speaking of money, your thoughts on Are they taking is somebody taking Ticketmaster to court? Is the UK government taking?
Yeah, I think I read something about it, or they're investigating. I think they're starting an
Yeah.
investigation into it.
They
Yeah,
what did they do? They dynamic pricing.
yeah.
They
We've
enacted
been here.
dynamic
We've been
pricing.
like, what's the definition of insanity? Do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome, right? Like we, how many times you and me, and we as
Yeah.
everybody have to have this same conversation. Like it's like, it's akin to Uber surcharging when there's a mass shooting or what was at the time thought to be a terrorist attack shooting in Sydney.
Yeah.
Like, like you're a
Interesting.
piece of shit if you're going to do that, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
surge pricing. My
Yeah.
apologies. Didn't mean to use the word gouge pricing. I have like a fruit fly or something flying around me. It's
And I
driving me
can
nuts.
see it on
Anyway,
the screen. If people are watching this on YouTube, they can see.
you can see it?
Yeah.
That's hilarious because it keeps flying in front of me here. And I'm like, what the? Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's funny because Ticketmaster keep throwing it back to the bands and the
That it's up to the
promoters.
bands to like opt
Ticketmaster
out of
is
it.
not our pig, not our farm, not us. It's the bands and the promoters that can decide what we just like Uber. We just facilitate the technology that allows people
Yeah.
to gouge and blah 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 blah. Right? You know what I mean? We're not actually the gougers.
Sure.
So Ticketmaster says the same thing. We're not the ones gouging you.
Hmm.
Oasis is. I mean, didn't Taylor Swift decide not to do dynamic pricing? Did I get it?
You got it?
No. Damn
No.
it. Still flying around here. Anyway.
I don't. Did she decide to? I don't know if she decided to or not, or didn't
Um,
decide to. I mean, tickets for Taylor Swift were famously hard to get to, but it seems that a bunch of Canadians went to the UK shows um, to be able to see her.
um, da-da-da-da-da.
So there's two ways to look at this, Greg. One,
Yeah.
bands, musicians, you know, make as much money as you can these days, right? Because you're not making money on streaming. And so the only way to make money is on merch. And there's a lot of venues that take a percentage of merch and selling tickets to their shows. And of course, venues and Ticketmaster takes their cut. So if you can make as much as you can, which everyone says is the reason for this tour, because Noel just got a divorce and owes a lot of money. Um, you make as much as you can. And then on the other side, there's fans that want to see their favorite musicians, their favorite artists, but are being asked to fork over hundreds and thousands of dollars just to get into the facility. Right? So there's a fine balance
Yeah. And
on,
something like this is such a spectacle
yeah,
that people are going to pay the pricing of hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars.
yeah,
And if you're not that fan
somebody
that can
else's.
afford that, I don't know what to say. Like I
Yeah.
like you know it. I mean, at the end of last season, we were talking about tours getting canceled because there's
People weren't paying the big
apathy
prices.
or whatever. Apathy is
Yeah.
not the right word, but there's a pushback from fans saying, "I'm not paying what you think is post COVID
Yeah.
the new pricing."
Yeah.
So but on the other flip side, people are going to pay to see Oasis. I mean, I'm not even a huge fan of Oasis, and I would have
Yeah.
paid to go see them
Yeah.
because again, it would have been my wife. No,
An event.
and she's
It's like
like, "You would
it's
go to it?" I go, "Yeah," because it's going to be an event. It's going to be a big thing, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I would have bought the
Absolutely.
tickets. like I said, make sure we get insurance on our flights and on our hotel and everything if you're able to get tickets for us. Because
Yeah.
again, oh, look, the odds just changed. No, they didn't. Yeah. So
Yeah. Well, we'll see. There, apparently they'll play here in Toronto at the what is that airfield? Downsview.
really?
That's the word on Reddit. There's a leakage of some sort of a document
Hmm.
that made the rounds that they'll play Downsview. But yeah,
That
we'll
will be
see.
big. That will be big.
That will be huge.
How
That
many
that
how many people attended SAR stock for that? It was called SAR stock,
100K?
right?
Is that 100,000 people? I don't know why I did not go to that show.
I was up north. Attendance is somewhere between 450 and 500,000.
What?
Mhm.
What?
That was the estimated attendance. Yep.
Wow. Can you just imagine the traffic jam? The overloading of the TTC to get up there.
No.
Wow, 500,000 people.
Yeah.
Out of that, 5,000 will be able to see the stage.
Oh, don't you remember? It was like there was like screens and then screens and then screens and
Screens.
then screens,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like people, yeah, not nobody, not a lot of people could see what
But
was
I'd go to
happening on
that.
the stage.
I'd go to that. See, I was there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I would go to that. Um, yeah, but live music is where it's at. If you are able to go see a show, whether it's in a small place like the Drake Underground, or whether you're going to um, Ontario Place. Was it
What
Budweiser? So, yeah,
stage?
Budweiser, right? Budweiser stage, or History, or Scotiabank Arena.
I mean, the West End Phoenix was in a courtyard of a building
Yeah,
in the Junction. It was like
crazy.
a couple hundred or a few hundred of us.
Yeah, go see it.
Yep.
Go see a show.
Yep.
Whether it's your favorite band or one of your favorite bands, or whether it's an up and comer, right? Go see your show, a show. Go
Support
and
live music.
enjoy. Exactly. And that's the pre-show to the show.
The
Greg
pre-show,
Tilson, Karim Kanji are your hosts. And
pre-show
hey,
to the pre-show.
if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you for coming to YouTube. You can also find us online at welcometothemusic.com. You could find us on Apple Music, Greg's favorite place to listen
Absolutely.
to music. You can go to Spotify, Neil Young's favorite place to share music. And I think you can find us in a bunch of different places, but that's
Yeah.
what people seem to be using. But thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoy the season. And now back to our regularly scheduled program.